Aliens stunned by humans' shocking discovery, mating for pleasure. The station called Helios drifted in silent orbit around a blue-white star. It was not large, but it was old and respected. Many species had argued, traded, and nearly gone to war inside its halls. Today, it welcomed humans for the first time. Ethan Cole stood near the wide window of the docking chamber. He watched the stars and kept his hands behind his back. He had trained for this moment for many years, but his heart still beat fast. Humans were finally stepping into a wider universe. Behind him, Dr. Lisa Brown checked her small data pad. She was shorter than Ethan and always looked calm, even in strange places. She had studied alien biology for most of her life, though she had never seen an alien face-to-face before now. The docking clamps locked with a deep sound. Lights shifted from red to white. The chamber doors opened slowly. 3 figures entered. They were tall and thin, with pale skin that looked almost like smooth stone. Their eyes were large and dark, and they wore simple robes with shining lines across the chest. These were the Talari, one of the oldest species in the Galactic Council. Ethan stepped forward and gave a small bow just as he had practiced. "I am Ethan Cole, envoy of Earth," he said. His voice was steady. "We come in peace." The tallest Talari raised one long hand. "We are aware," it said through a soft translator tone. "Peace is expected. Conflict is inefficient." Lisa noticed the way the Talari spoke. Their words were careful and exact, without emotion. She found it fascinating. The group moved through the station halls toward the council chamber. Along the way, other species watched from behind clear walls or open doors. Some were small and furred. Others were wide and scaled. Many had never seen a human before. Inside the council chamber, the air felt heavy with attention. The room was round, with raised platforms around the edges. Each platform belonged to a species. The human platform was new and still plain. Ethan and Lisa stood together as the council speaker began. "Humans of Earth," the speaker said. It was a floating being of light and shape, hard to focus on. "You are invited to share knowledge. This exchange will decide your place among us." Ethan nodded. "We are honored." The early discussion was calm. Humans spoke about their history, their science, and their planet. They talked about art, music, and community. Some aliens listened with interest. Others looked confused. Then the topic shifted to biology. A Talari scholar named Veril leaned forward. His eyes focused sharply on Lisa. "Human doctor," he said. "Your species has unusual social bonds. Explain their function." Lisa smiled slightly. "We form many kinds of bonds: family, friendship, partnership. They help us survive stress and danger." Veril tilted his head. "Bonding through shared labor is logical. Bonding through shared danger is logical, but our records show humans bond through mating far beyond reproductive need. This is illogical." A quiet murmur spread through the chamber. Ethan felt his throat tighten, but Lisa remained calm. "It is true," Lisa said. "Humans mate not only to create children, we also mate for pleasure, comfort, and emotional closeness." The chamber went silent. Veril's eyes widened a fraction. "Clarify," he said. "You engage in mating without population intent?" "Yes," Lisa replied. "Very often." A scaled alien from another platform hissed softly. "Wasteful," it said. "Dangerous," said another voice. The council speaker raised a glow limb for silence. "Explain why this behavior persists," it said. Lisa took a slow breath. She had known this moment would come. "For humans," she said, "pleasure is not only about the body, it affects the mind. Mating releases chemicals that reduce fear, increase trust, and strengthen bonds. It helps us stay united." Veril processed this in silence. "Your species expends energy for emotional reward," he said. "Yes," Lisa answered. "And that reward helps us survive." Some aliens shifted uncomfortably. Among most council species, mating was rare and strictly controlled. It was done in private chambers under medical supervision. Pleasure was considered a distraction. A Talari elder spoke. Emotion clouds judgment. Pleasure weakens discipline. Ethan finally stepped forward. With respect, he said, emotion also gives us reason to protect each other. Humans do not survive because we are calm. We survive because we care. A low sound passed through the chamber, a mix of confusion and disapproval. The council session ended shortly after. No decisions were announced. Humans were escorted back to their assigned quarters. As the door closed, Ethan let out a slow breath. "Well," he said, "that went better than I feared." Lisa laughed softly. "You expected shouting, or being sent home," he replied. Lisa sat at the small table and placed her pad down. "They are not angry, they are shocked. That is different." Outside the quarters, Veril stood alone in the corridor. He had requested permission to observe the humans more closely. Curiosity was rare among his kind, but it had always defined him. He replayed the discussion in his mind. Mating for pleasure, emotional reward, survival advantage. It did not fit any model he knew. Through the transparent wall, he observed Ethan and Lisa talking quietly. They sat close, not touching but comfortable in shared space. Their body language showed ease and trust. Veril felt a strange sensation, not emotion but the awareness of a gap in his understanding. Later that cycle, Veril accessed human public data. History, psychology, biology. He studied long hours, far beyond his assigned duty time. He learned about human pair bonds, about affection, about comfort in physical closeness. He learned about grief and how humans supported each other through it. The data showed something troubling. Humans should not have survived. Their planet was violent. Their bodies were fragile. Their lives were short compared to many council species, and yet they endured. Veril leaned back and stared at the data screen. "Pleasure," he said softly, testing the word. On the other side of the station, Ethan lay awake. He stared at the ceiling, thinking of the faces in the chamber, thinking of how small Earth seemed among the stars. "Do you think they will accept us?" Lisa asked from the other side of the room. "Eventually," Ethan said. "They just need time," Lisa nodded, "and understanding." The station lights dimmed, marking the end of the cycle. Aliens across Helios Station rested in their own ways. But one thing was certain. The humans had planted an idea the galaxy had never faced before. That strength might come not only from control, but from connection. And that idea had only just begun to disturb the quiet order of the stars. The next cycle on Helios Station began quietly, but the echoes of the human revelation spread quickly. Word traveled faster than anyone expected. In halls and chambers, alien scientists, scholars, and even soldiers whispered about the humans' unusual behavior, mating for pleasure, for connection, for survival. Veril spent most of the cycle in his observation room. He watched Ethan and Lisa as they moved through the station. Humans were polite, careful, and unhurried. They interacted with other species with patience and curiosity, but it was their private moments he could not ignore. Small touches, gentle smiles, and laughter between them. Nothing aggressive or forceful, nothing the aliens had ever seen. Yet it seemed powerful. Other aliens began to notice. A group of young Talari researchers gathered near the observation windows and debated. "They expend energy for no reproduction," one said. Her voice was sharp, showing irritation. "It is illogical." The idea that pleasure could strengthen survival was spreading, though few admitted it openly. In the council archives, reports were updated with human social patterns. Veril noted everything. He accessed an old simulation. It showed a confined station crisis. Fire and toxic gas were released in a controlled test. Alien crews ran the simulation. They panicked. Some froze. Some failed simple tasks. Then humans were placed in the simulation. They supported each other calmly, taking calculated risks to save the most people. The results were clear. Humans performed better under stress, despite the danger and fear. Veril could not dismiss it. Their method, he said aloud, may be effective. A small, furred alien named Shari approached Lisa. "Human doctor," Shari said, "your species behaves strangely. Why do you bond through touch?" "It is part of survival. Perhaps they are stronger than they appear." Stress from long work cycles felt less heavy. Decisions were easier to make. His mind was clearer. He recorded every detail, but he did not share it with the council. The traditional view that emotion was weakness was too strong. He could lose his position. Instead, he watched, tested, and waited. Ethan noticed subtle looks from Veril during meetings. He understood curiosity. He did not confront it. He only ensured the humans acted as normal without forcing or demonstrating anything inappropriate. The goal was not to shock. The goal was to survive and cooperate. One day, during a shared meal hall session, an alien captain approached Ethan. "Your species," she said slowly, "you bond before crisis. How can this be efficient?" "One is survival. When humans care, we act fast and together. Fear does not control us. Connection controls us. If control fails, connection survives. Our bonds are stronger than discipline alone." Many aliens were intrigued, though admitting it was difficult. To suggest emotion as strength challenged everything they had believed. Veril continued his secret work. He even created a small group of trusted aliens who were willing to test human methods. They practiced comfort, reassurance, touch, and verbal bonding. The results were remarkable. Decision-making improved, stress lowered, cooperation rose, efficiency increased, yet resistance remained. Many elders, council leaders, and military officers openly condemned human behavior as reckless and dangerous. "Pleasure is weakness," they repeated. "Humans will fail under true crisis." Humans could only show example. Later in the cycle, a minor technical accident trapped several species in a maintenance corridor. Toxic gas slowly filled the area. Panic was immediate. Some aliens froze. Some struggled to act logically. Humans, however, stayed calm. Ethan helped a small alien family, holding one trembling child close to reassure them. Lisa guided injured aliens to safety, softly touching hands, holding shoulders. Humans spoke calmly, laughed softly to relieve tension, and comforted each other. Veril observed from a distance, hidden, recording data. He noted heart rates, stress levels, and cooperation patterns. Aliens who had observed humans before could not match the calm efficiency. The incident ended without loss of life, thanks largely to human leadership and emotional guidance. Afterward, council leaders could not ignore the pattern. Discussions began, quietly, about emotional bonding as a method of survival. Veril approached Ethan and Lisa later. He spoke cautiously. "Your methods, they work," he admitted. "We saw the results. Humans perform well under stress because of connection." Will it spread? They had only lived naturally, demonstrating the power of connection. Veril returned to his data room that night. He replayed the corridor incident repeatedly, analyzing every human gesture, every smile, every touch. The realization grew. Humans were strong in a way aliens had never imagined. He whispered to himself, "Pleasure, for survival, emotion. As strength, they are right. The humans are right." The council would continue to watch, debate, and resist. But humans had planted a seed that might grow to change the understanding of survival in the galaxy forever. The first whispers of change had begun. The aliens were stunned, unsure, but undeniably aware. Humans were not only different, they were remarkable. The station was quiet at the start of the cycle. Humans moved among the corridors as usual, calm and steady. But the calm did not last. A warning light flashed red in the council chamber. An emergency had begun. A power surge in the core systems caused multiple sections of the station to shut down. Air circulation failed in some corridors. Smoke and sparks filled hallways. Aliens panicked. Some froze in place. Some ran blindly. Ethan and Lisa reacted immediately. "Stay calm," Ethan said, guiding a group of smaller aliens. "Follow me slowly, don't rush." Lisa checked injured aliens, giving water, bandages, and gentle reassurance. She held a small, trembling alien hand, rubbing it softly. The alien's eyes widened, then softened, and it followed her without fear. In another section, Veril observed from a distance. He could see the chaos. His own species froze in fear, their minds overwhelmed. But humans moved steadily, calmly, helping aliens without question. He felt something strange. Envy, admiration. He could not name it, but he could see the clear difference. Humans stayed effective under stress. Aliens did not. Ethan led a group to a blocked corridor. Smoke was thick. One alien panicked, screaming. Ethan spoke softly, placing a hand on its shoulder. "Breathe," he said. "We are here together. We will get out." The alien trembled, then followed him. Ethan guided the group through a small maintenance hatch, opening it slowly, signaling others to follow. His calm voice and steady hands reassured them. Elsewhere, Lisa found a family of furred aliens trapped under debris. The parents were injured and frightened. Lisa held their children, whispering soothing words. She gave them comfort, even hugging them briefly. The parents looked at her, confusion in their eyes, but the fear lessened. Veril could not believe it. The humans' physical closeness, their small gestures, their reassurance, something about it was powerful. It calmed those in danger. It allowed them to think clearly. He followed Ethan and Lisa closely, observing how they moved through the chaos. When they spoke to others, it was never with fear, anger, or demand. It was patience, understanding, and care. After hours of work, the danger ended. The station was damaged but stable. No life was lost. Humans had saved more aliens than any emergency protocol could explain. Council leaders called for an immediate meeting. Normally, humans would be summoned last, but today, they were central. Aliens argued loudly. Some demanded humans explain how they survived. Others accused them of dangerous unpredictability. Veril spoke quietly, almost against his will. "We saw them," he said. "They remain calm under stress, they act together, they guide others. Their emotional bonds are a part of their strength." An elder hissed, "Bonds are weakness. Emotion clouds judgment." "Not in humans," Ethan replied. His voice was steady. "For humans, emotion guides action. It reduces fear. It allows cooperation. It strengthens survival." A murmur ran through the council. Many were still skeptical. A few could not hide curiosity. After the meeting, Veril returned to his observation deck. He replayed the emergency events again. He noted every small gesture, Ethan steadying frightened hands, Lisa holding a shaking shoulder, humans encouraging each other quietly while working efficiently. He compared these behaviors with alien training manuals. The difference was clear. Humans were stronger in practice, not through control or discipline, but through connection and comfort. Meanwhile, small groups of aliens began experimenting quietly. Shari and two colleagues tested human methods. They spoke softly, touched shoulders, and comforted each other during long tasks. Efficiency improved, mistakes decreased, stress lowered. Veril documented every moment. Secretly, he realized this could change everything. But he also knew the council would resist. Most species could not imagine emotion as a source of strength. Ethan and Lisa continued their routines. They trained alien crews on safety, health, and survival. But every lesson included small human practices: comfort, patience, teamwork, and reassurance. Never forced, never explicit about pleasure, but present in subtle ways. One evening, Ethan noticed a small alien child shivering in the halls. He knelt and spoke softly. "Don't be afraid, we will take care of you." He held the child's hand, guiding it back to safety. Lisa followed, carrying a small blanket. The parents followed hesitantly, their faces showing disbelief. Veril recorded every detail. He noted heart rate changes, fear levels, and the child's calmness after human guidance. The evidence was undeniable. Humans, emotional connection worked. Another incident occurred when a mechanical failure trapped several alien technicians. Smoke filled the chamber, sparks flew, and panic spread. Humans arrived, hands steady, guiding aliens out with gentle reassurances. They used calm words, small touches, and teamwork. All escaped safely. Council leaders could no longer deny the pattern. Discussions turned to private consultations. Some conservatives still claimed humans were reckless. Others began to quietly experiment. Verrill met privately with Ethan and Lisa. "Your species," he said quietly. "I do not fully understand it, but your methods save lives." "They make others stronger, they are not weakness," Lisa smiled. "We do not force it, we only live naturally, our connections guide us." Verrill nodded slowly. "I see it now. Humans are strong in ways we have never imagined." Ethan placed a hand on his shoulder. "Strength comes in many forms. Control is one. Connection is another. Humans have learned both." Verrill left quietly, thinking about the future. The galaxy had never seen a species like humans before. They survived chaos not by rules, not by force, but by caring for each other. The next days were calmer, but the memory of the emergency remained. Aliens discussed it in private, some with wonder, some with disbelief. Verrill continued his experiments in small ways, testing bonds, patience, and comfort. Results were always better than tradition predicted. Ethan and Lisa walked through the station quietly, observing alien reactions. Some species still avoided humans. Some watched with curiosity. But the change was happening slowly. Seeds of understanding had been planted. That cycle ended with humans respected quietly. Not yet trusted fully, not yet fully understood, but undeniably remarkable. The aliens had seen what humans could do, and many were beginning to wonder if connection was stronger than control. And in his observation room, Verrill whispered almost to himself, "Humans survive because they feel, and because they care." For the first time, he realized that the galaxy might never see strength the same way again. The station was quiet at the start of the cycle, but tension had grown beneath the calm. Many council leaders could not accept what they had seen. The human's behavior, mating for pleasure, bonding, connecting emotionally, was still considered dangerous by most. Old habits died slowly, and the council was full of tradition. Verrill walked through the halls, observing aliens who had begun experimenting with human methods in private. A few were trying to comfort each other, reassure colleagues, or touch hands gently. The results were undeniable. Teamwork improved, mistakes decreased, and stress dropped. But the resistance was growing louder. An elder Talari named Krez called a private meeting with other conservative leaders. "Humans are dangerous," Krez said. "They weaken minds. They distract from duty. Their pleasure and connection will corrupt our youth and our ranks." Verrill listened quietly from the shadows. He disagreed, but he could not yet speak openly. The council would dismiss him as biased. Instead, he returned to his observation deck. There, he reviewed data from previous emergencies and stress tests. The humans' calm, precise, and effective behavior could not be denied. It was clear that their emotional connections strengthened their survival. Meanwhile, Ethan and Lisa continued their work with the council species. They never forced humans' methods on anyone. They only demonstrated subtly how connection improved teamwork. Small touches, gentle words, comfort, and patience were shown in emergencies, training exercises, and daily interactions. One day, an alien captain approached Ethan privately. "Your species is strange," she said. "But I saw your methods in the last training exercise. The team performed better than ours ever could." "How?" Ethan smiled faintly. "We value each other," he said. "When humans feel safe and connected, we work better, even under danger. Fear does not control us. Care does." The captain nodded slowly. She left, thoughtful. Word of human efficiency and calm under pressure spread quietly. More aliens became curious. Verrill observed secretly as Shari, the furred alien, tried human methods with her crew. She encouraged small touches, patient words, and cooperation. Mistakes decreased and efficiency improved. Even skeptical colleagues admitted it worked, though they would not speak openly. But resistance remained strong. Conservative leaders accused humans of spreading dangerous ideas. Some threatened sanctions. Verrill, Shari, and a small group of private observers continued their experiments quietly. They documented improved performance and reduced stress. One night, a mechanical failure trapped several aliens in a maintenance corridor. Smoke filled the air, alarms blared, and panic spread quickly. Humans arrived. Ethan held a small alien child's hand, guiding it to safety, while Lisa reassured adults with gentle words and comfort. They worked together seamlessly, calm and confident. Verrill watched from a hidden observation deck. The evidence was clear. Humans' emotional bonds increased survival, efficiency, and cooperation. He whispered to himself, "Connection is strength." After the emergency, council leaders demanded a report. Conservatives still criticized human methods as reckless. Others quietly acknowledged that the humans had saved more lives than any council protocol could predict. Verrill was called to speak privately with a council elder. "Your research," the elder said cautiously, "shows humans succeed under stress. Is this true?" Verrill nodded. "Yes, they bond, care, and connect. Their methods save lives. They are not weak. They are strong in ways our traditions do not recognize." The elder frowned, thinking. "This challenges everything we believe." "It does," Verrill admitted, "but ignoring it could cost lives." Ethan and Lisa continued quietly, training alien crews and demonstrating human methods through calm guidance and subtle connection. They never imposed their ways. They only showed, leading by example. Slowly, some aliens began adopting human practices in private. Comfort, patience, reassurance, and gentle touch became small experiments in several crews. Performance improved, mistakes decreased, stress lowered. And slowly, curiosity replaced skepticism. Verrill compiled all his data. He realized humans were teaching the galaxy a new form of strength. Not force, not control, but connection, care, trust, cooperation, emotional bonding. He approached Ethan privately. "I cannot openly support this yet," he said, "but your species has changed my understanding. Humans survive because they feel, because they care, because they are connected." Ethan smiled faintly. "Connection is part of survival. Our bonds guide action. They keep us alive." Verrill nodded slowly, thinking of the future. The council's conservatives would resist for years, but change was already in motion. Humans had planted a seed. One day, the galaxy might see strength in a new way. The cycle ended with humans respected quietly. They were not yet fully trusted, not yet fully understood, but undeniably remarkable. Many aliens continued to experiment in private, and Verrill's secret observations promised a slow, inevitable shift in thinking. And somewhere in the quiet halls of Helios Station, humans continued their work. They did not boast. They did not demand belief. They only lived naturally, showing the galaxy that connection, care, and emotion could be powerful tools for survival. The change had begun. The galaxy would never be the same. Tools.